Welcome back to Hotham's Apiary. I'm Jason Hotham, and in this video, I'm going to be splitting Colony 1. You won't want to miss it. All right, first off, let me just explain a little bit what I plan to do. What I want to do is I want to split the very strong Colony 1 so that I can basically have the same genes in a separate colony. So next year I'll have, instead of one really strong colony like Colony 1, I'll have two really strong colonies. So there are several different ways of making a split, and depending on what you want to achieve and when you do it, there are different methods that you can use. Now, this method that I'm going to use today is a method that's not so commonly used this late in the season, but I'm going to try it out anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 frames from Colony 1, with one of those frames having the queen on it, and moving it to a new hive body a few feet away. Okay? And what's going to happen is that the bees that are left over at the old position where all the bees were before, they will begin to draw out queen cells, and they will raise a new queen, because now those bees are queenless. And as long as I leave them some frames with fresh eggs on them, they'll be able to draw out some of those cells that will help them raise a new queen. The other bees that will be going along with the queen into the new box, they will continue to do things business as usual. The queen will continue to lay eggs. They will continue to raise a new brood, but they don't have to worry about a queen. They have their queen. The one thing that will happen, however, is because I'm doing this split here in this stand, is that the forager bees from that particular hive that's going to have the queen in it, they will return to their old location and be back with those bees that are queenless. Now, the reason that I'm doing it like this is because I want those queenless bees to have foragers that will help bring in food and will also make sure that the bees have enough warmth for raising the queens. And then after about 4 weeks, it's going to take about 4 to 5 weeks, those bees will have a queen and she will be laying eggs. So this method is used when you want to make a split at your current stand, provided that the weather is appropriate for flying, for foraging. There are other methods. Another method is, if you do not want the forager bees to return to their old location, is that you take the queenless bees and you take them to a completely different area, a few miles away, a few kilometers away, outside of the flight radius of the forager bees, and then those bees will stay put where they're at. So what I have to do is once I've done this, what I have to do is I have to observe that queenless colony and see, first of all, that they've raised a new queen, and after a few weeks, like I said, that she should have returned from her mating flight and she should actually be laying eggs. So those are the things that I want to accomplish today. Another thing to mention also is that when you do this, you also need to make sure that both colonies from the split, both splits, that they have some kind of stores, they have a food frames in there. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so on Sunday, I extracted honey from Colony 1, and on Tuesday, I put an escape board in so that the bees that were cleaning out all of the leftover honey frames, that they could escape back down into the hive. So I'm just going to remove this box now. Let me just put the cover here now. take a look and see inside. There's actually quite a few bees still in there, but I just have to sweep them off. All right, let's get into the interesting part here. So, get this queen excluder off. We won't be needing this queen excluder this season any longer. Set that over here. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to take 5 frames from this box and I'm going to put them in this box. So what's going to happen is I'm going to, or what I need to do is I need to try to find the queen, and the queen needs to go in the new box. So place that frame right away in the other hive. There's a nice frame with brood on it. And I will move that one as well over to the new hive. And let me see if I can find the queen. If I can see her. No. Have not found her. Okay. Oh yeah, there she is. There's queen. There's the queen right there. So now I've found her. She's going into the new hive. So now what I need to do is I have to make sure that this portion of the split, this side, this old box here, that they have frames that have eggs on them, so that they can draw out and raise new queens. They have to be eggs, not young larvae. And there's lots of eggs on here, so the bees definitely can continue to use this. I'll leave that one in. I'll move this one over. one as well. So now we have 5 frames. They have a food frame in there. And now I'm going to move this frame to the outside. And I'm going to give them one of these empty frames here. Close it up. All right, so this is the box containing the queen. And over here is the box that does not have a queen. These bees are very calm in comparison to the bees over here. There's lots of bees in that hive. Here there's also a lot of bees, but they are calm because the queen is there. They can smell her. She's there. That's why they're so calm. What I need to do is I still need to give them another frame. I'll give them a frame that they can store honey on, and I can give them also a frame with wax foundation on it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to give them these old frames from the Honey Super. What we're looking at right here is colony 2. And look at all the bees that are just waiting to enter. That colony was so weak at the beginning of the season. And they have really, really come along now. This is great stuff. All right, that's it for this video. There were a ton of bees in colony 1. It made it very difficult to move the bees around. The weather has now gotten a lot nicer actually in the last 20 minutes or so. So the bees are actually out foraging again. But like I said before, I'll just keep an eye on that colony. I'll check in on them in about 3 to 4 weeks. I don't want to disturb them too much now because when they're drying out those queen cells, I don't want them to get shaken up anyway. I don't want them to get broken or any damage to them. So the queen cells are very delicate. The best thing for me to do is just to wait 3 weeks, and then I can have a peek inside and see what that colony is doing. If you haven't already done it, please hit subscribe, and I'll get new content out as soon as possible. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun beekeeping.